We shall begin our study on cosine rule by using our triangle and lettered triangle as our beginning point. So we letter our triangle P, Q, R in capital letters. So angles are represented in capital letters. Directly opposite P, we have small p. Directly opposite Q here, we have small q. Directly opposite this R here, we have small r, the distance from P to Q. Now we drop a perpendicular from R. Let us call this one as our point A. In a right angled triangle, the sign is normally given as opposite over adjacent. Cosine is normally adjacent over hypotenuse. The tangent of the angle, this is the angle now, is opposite over adjacent. That is an eye opener. Now we move on to our triangle. Now directly opposite Q here we have, this is our opposite, this is our hypotenuse, this is our adjacent. So DQ, 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 like that, is equals to small p cos Q for triangle A. And then RD squared, RD squared, RD squared is equals to P squared minus DQ squared. Now DQ here, it is P cos theta. So it is P minus P cos Q squared, giving us P squared minus P squared cos squared Q. Now when you square a number like P cos Q, it is normally written as P squared for P. Then we don't write cos squared Q squared. We normally write it as P squared cos squared Q. Now we are through with our triangle, this triangle here. Now let us move on to this other triangle here. We can call it triangle number 2. So triangle number 2, we use Pythagoras theorem to find whatever we want. So we can begin with Q squared. Q squared is equals to PD squared, PD squared plus RD squared plus RD squared. And we know PD squared is the same as this length from P to D squared. It is the same as the total length from P to Q subtract the length DQ. So PD squared is equals to the length from this point to that point is R minus DQ. But DQ is P cos Q. So minus P cos Q squared plus RD squared. But RD squared is P squared minus P squared cos squared Q. So plus P squared minus P squared cos squared Q. Now when we square this one here, when we square it, it breaks down into R squared I've simplified it. R squared minus 2RP cos Q plus P squared cos squared Q. The whole of this breaks down into the whole of this. So the whole of this is the same as the whole of that. Then plus P squared plus P squared, this one, minus P squared cos squared Q. And once again, we put the like terms together. So plus P squared cos squared, this one, plus P squared cos squared Q minus P squared cos squared Q, they cancel because this is a negative and this is a positive and this one is a negative. So this one and this one cancel. Now when they cancel, we remain with is equals to R squared, there is a P squared here, plus P squared minus 2RP minus 2RP cos Q is equals to Q squared. So our Q squared is the same as R squared. Q squared is the same as R squared plus P squared minus 2RP cos Q. So we have generated the cosine rule. So you can use the cosine rule to be able to find out what is required. And again, if we have Q squared, so we have already generated our cosine rule as this one. Now suppose we want to find cos Q. Suppose we want to find cos Q now, we make cos Q the subject of our formula. And we say, from here, and say Q squared is equals to R squared plus P squared minus 2RP cos Q. And then we take this 2 to the other side and we say Q squared minus R squared minus P squared is equals to 2RP cos Q. It is normally advised that we should not leave a negative number in front. So we multiply this side by a negative, this side by a negative. So we remain with 2RP cos Q is equals to R squared plus P squared minus Q. Because if you multiply this by negative, these two change, the Q remains. Now to be able to find cos Q is equals to, we divide this side by 2RP, divide this other side by 2RP, and then we find R squared plus P squared minus Q divided by 2RP is equals to cos theta, cos Q. And so cos Q is the same as R squared plus P squared minus Q squared over 2RP. Once again, if you look at cos Q here, cos Q the angle, we shall subtract the side Q, small q. If we had cos R capital, we would have subtracted small r. So that is how the cosine rule is generated. You begin by drawing a triangle like that, drop a perpendicular, and then begin from this side, dq equals that, you work backwards. Alternatively, you can stand at point Q and drop a perpendicular on line PR. Still, you'll be able to get to the answer. So we have generated the cosine rule. It can be applied in almost all situations in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, building and construction to solve out problems related with geometry. Thank you.